she pull up with that new thing. Please don't fall in love, cause I think of you all day. Yeah, I was running through my brain, can't be nothing. Cause I just know you got me thinking about forever. Got a crush, crush, crush on you. I just wanna be your only crush, crush, crush on you.
Good morning, happy Tuesday. Today is day 3 of our trip, and we spent all of last night in Nashville, and I love the chicken and I love the live music, but my body did not agree with the chicken and the alcohol I consumed, so we had to go back home and we just watched the movie Bottoms and fell asleep. So we are just spending the morning in our cozy little bungalow, drinking our coffee, eating our baked goods, and finishing up the movie before we head on over to Centennial Park. To talking to the camera in front of Nick, but that's a fear that, well, it's not a fear, it's just weird, but that's something that I need to get used to. But anyways, yesterday was our first day in the Smoky Mountains, and we had a whole day planned, of course, because I am such an itinerary gal, but we realized before we left for the day that we were in between 2 Airbnbs, so when we were booking the trip, we booked our cabin that we're staying for the rest of the trip. The one I'm in currently, actually, a little too late, so we had to book our first night with a different Airbnb. So we were in between 2 Airbnbs, which essentially meant that we had to keep the food in the car with us. And if there's anything to know about the Smoky Mountains, it's the bears. And of course, when they smell food, they try to get it. So if we just left food in our car, they could get to it. They could open the car or mess up the car and to try to get to the food, which is not ideal. So, but everything kind of ended up working out because it was raining all day in the mountains. So we wouldn't really have enjoyed what we had planned for the day in the first place. So we kind of just took a scenic route across the mountains, enjoyed what we could see. We tried to get to like the lookout point at the very top of the mountains, but it was misty all the way up and you couldn't really see much, which is perfectly fine. And so it's a 45-minute hike, and it definitely would not have been worth doing it if we couldn't see anything anyway. But we got to the Airbnb and we got everything settled here. And then this morning, of course, we could have woken up early to get good parking, but this is a vacation. I don't want to have to wake up at 5 a.m. while I am on vacation. So we woke up around 7, took our time this morning, and by the time we got to the park, it was about 11:30, and of course there wasn't any parking near the trailhead or where our trail for the hike we were doing today started. So we had to park a mile away. So then we had to walk a mile to the start of the trail. And suffice to say the least, I don't even know if I use that phrase right. That was an unfortunate situation. So the hike we went on today was 11 miles, and the elevation gain is a little over 3,000 feet. So it's definitely the hardest hike I've ever been on. I think the longest I've ever done was 4 miles, so almost 3 times as much as I'm used to. But luckily, it's 5 miles up to the very top of Mount LeConte, I don't know. But, and then there's a little lodge where you can eat your food, and then you go all the way down back to the trailhead. But it's been a long, long day. The first 5 miles, of course, up to the top, was very challenging. The most challenging terrain I've ever been on, but we got to see so many wonderful things. And when we got to the top, you couldn't really see much, to be honest, because like you're above where all the clouds are, but it was still cool to be at the top of a mountain. Hello? I can say that I hiked an entire mountain, and we could have actually gotten a better view from the top. However, on the sign in front of that like little trail, it said bears are active in this area. So that was a no. And then we found out that there was going to be a thunderstorm later in the afternoon. So we just scooted our booties down back to the mountain. And I'm honestly quite surprised because my knees and my legs didn't start hurting until there was like 3 miles left on the hike. But it was definitely, again, the hardest hike I've ever been on, but I'm so glad we did it. But it started thunderstorming while we were doing our mile-long walk back to our car. So that wasn't ideal. So Nick and I's legs have been just like numb, hurting. My hips hurt, my knees hurt, my ankles hurt, my feet hurt, everything hurts. So we weren't planning on eating out today, but we were like, there is no way we're cooking tonight. So Nick is about to, well, he's in the middle of getting our dinner. We got like classic American bar and grill food. We got burgers and wings, and we are just going to watch the Tigers game the rest of the night. And at least now, all the rest of our hikes are going to be way easier than this one. And I'm honestly just so proud of the hike we just did. If you would have told me 4 years ago that I would be hiking like this, I would not have believed you, but I just want to relax and enjoy the rest of the night. So I will be doing that.